we are talking about angles in triangles. And in this case, we want to find either the missing angle or we want to find the value of x. So if we're looking at example 6, we notice that we have exterior angle theorem. So the exterior angle theorem says that the exterior angle is equal to the sum of the remote two interior angles, in this case, which are angle F and angle E. So we can say 110 degrees is equal to 45 degrees. Plus the measure of angle F. And in order to figure that out, what we do is we would just subtract 45 degrees from both sides. And we end up with 65 degrees is equal to the measure of angle F. Next one, again, we have an exterior angle theorem. This one involves a little bit more substitution. So we know that 84, that's going to be equal to the other two angles added together. So we have 6x, and then we have 5x plus 7. Then we can combine our like terms, and we get 11x. That is equal to 7, and still equal to 84. I said that wrong. So 84 degrees is equal to 11x plus 7. And then we could subtract 7 from both sides. And we get 77 is equal to 11x. Divide both sides by 11, and then we get 7 is equal to x. We can substitute the 7 back in, and so 6 times 7, that is going to be equal to 42 degrees. So that's the measure of angle E. And then we have the 5 times x plus 7. And in this case happens to be 7 again. So 5 times 7 is 35 plus 7. So that is also 42 degrees. Now I have example 8 and 9. And in this one is also another example of exterior angle theorem. And in this case, in the previous two cases, we had 110 degrees and 84 degrees. We were like, okay, everything's going to be equal to that. But now we have a variable, 15x minus 5, that we're going to set equal to the other two. So we have 15x minus 5, and that is equal to those angles added together. So we have the 110, and then we have the 2x plus 2. And then we can combine these together. So 110 plus 2 is 112 degrees. And then we still have the 2x. And then we still have the 15x minus 5. So we can add 5 to both sides. And then we have the 15x. 112 plus 5 is 117. And then we still have the 2x. And we can subtract 2x, subtract 2x. And then we get 13x is equal to 117. And then we can divide both sides by 13. And then we get x is equal to 9. And we'll leave this one as x is equal to 9. We can substitute it back in if we want, but we're not going to do it for this example. Now we move on to number 9. And in this case, this one, we're talking about the Triangle Sum Theorem. And the Triangle Sum Theorem says we add up all the angles. So 180 degrees is going to be equal to all the angles added together. So we have a 80-degree angle. We have a 63-degree angle. And we have a 4x plus 5-degree angle. So we can combine our like terms, 80, 63, and 5, and we end up with 148. That's still equal to 180 degrees, and we are still going to add the 4x. Then we can subtract 148 degrees from both sides of the equation to get x by itself. And then we get 32 is equal to 4x. Divide by 4, divide by 4, and then we get x is equal to 8. And we can substitute that back in. So we got 4. And we calculated that x was equal to 8. So 4 times 8 is 32, plus 5 is 37. So that's our angle measure for that one. We go to number 10. And this is the corollary to the Triangle Sum Theorem. So corollary to the triangle sum, if we have a 90-degree angle, right here we have a 90-degree angle. So the other two acute angles are equal to 90 degrees. So 90 is equal to the other two angles added together, which in this case is 30 and x plus 65. So we can combine our like terms, and we get 95. So 90 degrees is equal to 95 plus x. And then we can subtract 95 from both sides. And then we get x is equal to -5. Once we substitute that back in, so we have -5 plus 65. So that is equal to 60. And then our last example, this is going to be a combination of vertical angles and triangle sum theorem. So triangle sum and also vertical. So vertical tells me that this is 123 degrees because they're congruent. And this angle is also 4x plus 4. So now we can use our triangle sum theorem and calculate what our x value is. So the things that never change, triangle sum theorem says we're adding three angles together. So the first angle is 123, 123. Our next angle is 29. And our last angle is 4x plus 4. We can combine our like terms, and we end up with 156. We still have the 180 degrees, and we're still going to add that to the 4x. We can subtract 156 from both sides of the equal sign, and we're left with 24 is equal to 4x. Then we can divide both sides by 4, and then we get x is equal to 6. And if we substitute that back in, so 4 plus 4, and we multiply that by 6. So 4 times 6 is 24, plus 4, that's equal to 28.